I am here with Miss Anne Lindsey. I'm so excited. Oh, it's so good to have you here today.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I was so excited when you asked. Thank you.
Oh, and that always makes my day too, because oh gosh, it's so exciting. So I'm just gonna say kind of everybody, hi to everybody in case they, want to chat with you, and then we'll get into you kind of just talking about your books. Okay. And I can add all of your websites and information an hour after the interview finishes going live. So I'll add all that in. Perfect.
Cool.
Hey, Mel. It's good to see you. Hi, Nancy. Nancy says hello. Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Storm. Hey, Lisa K. It's so good to see you. Hey, Hannah. Hi, Alicia. It's good to have you here. Cheryl says, hi, everyone. Hi, Julie. Hi, Tiffany. Hi. Hey, Jess. It's good to have you. Hello, Kay. Kay is my mother-in-law. Hi. Hey, Cheryl. She said, I love your books, Julie.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry. Hello, Tiffany. Hello, Julianne. Yeah. So on that note, you can introduce each of your series, whatever you want to tell us about your individual series that you have and your new one. I'm really excited about that one.
All right. Okay. So some of you probably know this, but I am an author of cozy mysteries. I write romantic suspense for Harlequin too, but I would say most of what I write, more than half, is definitely cozies. I started writing cozies in maybe 2013 or 2014. They turned out to be more like amateur sleuth. I was still trying to figure out what makes a cozy cozy. In 2016, I wrote the Kitty Couture mysteries as Julie Chase. And then I had the opportunity to use the pen name Jacqueline Frost and write the Christmas Tree Farm Mysteries. And if you haven't heard, and if you read those, I just signed a contract for book 4. So there's going to be another. Yes. It might be a year or so because I have to write it. And it was kind of something we decided in December. So, but that's coming. I also write the Cider Shop Mysteries as myself. And I write the Seaside Cafe Mysteries as Bree Baker. Oh, and I write, and I started, right, I almost forgot. During the pandemic, I always joke that, we lost control of everything temporarily while we tried to figure out this kind of new world. And to gain control, instead of just like cutting my bangs or something, I decided I would start, an indie enterprise. And I started the Bonnie and Clyde Cozy Mystery Series, where Bonnie is a second chance shop owner and Clyde is her kitty companion. So those are out now too.
I just read, so I'm caught up in the Christmas Tree Farm and can't wait for you to get the next one out. So yay. And I'm caught up in the Cider Shop. I love that. I'm hoping that, will there be more of those? Do you know?
So there probably won't be more cider shops. I think I'm going to blame the pandemic. It's partially my fault too, but book 1 came out in the fall of 2019. Book 2 came out in April of 2020 when everything was shut down and everyone was at home. So no one was working, printing. No one was working at the warehouse. Like everything was just very strange for a while. And book 2 just didn't get a lot of momentum for that reason. And then book 3 was pushed back because of the shutdown. And so instead of coming out 6 months later, it was almost 17 months later before book 3. And I just assumed it didn't survive the pandemic, So I went ahead and filled up my calendar. I usually have my writing calendar in order for 18 months to 2 years of what I'm writing. And I didn't have room for a 4th. And they came and asked me for one. And it would be another 2-year gap before I could write it and get it published. So I think that one but thank you for those that read it, because I don't think anyone expected readers to come back after a 1.5 year gap to read book 3, and you did. And
I will tell you that as someone, when I love a series, I have come back to a series when they've wrote books like 5-6 years later, and even now, I can think of somebody who just put out a new book in a series that again, there was a huge gap because she's self-publishing it, and everybody's so excited about reading it. So I don't think you should give up on it. I am serious. If it's a series that people love, and we have a Discord, a Cozy Mystery Discord, and that the Apple Cider Shop is very popular.
Yay. Oh, I love knowing that. Maybe I need to revisit this with my agent.
I'm telling you. And I just read the first Bonnie and Clyde. I loved it. Burden of Poof. It was so good.
Guys, that was so scary because, like, on the one hand, I've written lots of cozy mysteries. This isn't new. I can do this. But on the other hand, when it came time to publish it, I felt the absence of all those editors at the publishing houses that get paid to know what should be, what goes in a code, and they do guide me. And all of a sudden I thought, what if I've really messed this up without those kind of bumpers like bowling, to keep me.
Yeah.
But I think it was okay. It has been received really well, and I'm super proud of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the Seaside Cafe is another really popular one in our Discord. I think I've read the first two. Caught up on the cider. I'm caught up on the Christmas Tree Farm. I think the Christmas Tree Farm is my favorite just because I'm a Christmasaholic. Yay. So, and I just love everything about it. I was so excited when you put out that there was going to be a fourth.
Oh, I can't wait. I just had to write so I won't turn the manuscript in until October of this year because they just asked me in December. And like I said, I had it all planned. So in order to make it happen, I had to call some people and push some things back. But I thought it was really important because I know the readers love this series. And I love writing that series. So I wanted to make sure I fit it in, but I had to turn in an outline, like a full synopsis of how I saw the story going just last week so that they could make sure that I had a plan and we were in agreement. And so I got to be back in Mistletoe just for a little while I thought, who am I going to kill and where am I going to do it? And how can I make Cookie a lot of fun this time? And it was so great. I can't wait to sit down and write it.
Oh, that's awesome. And I've been toying with, so, there's a lot of series that I feel like ended, whether it be because they wanted it to, or a publisher, just decided not to renew it. But I've been thinking but I think it'd be really hard to get together, but I think it would be amazing. Like I was thinking to do a newsletter and have authors update, here's what my character's doing now.
Where are they now? I love it.
Because sometimes I think about it. I'm like, wonder what that character's doing when they haven't got any more books.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be cool, especially if people were, at some point maybe thinking about doing self-publishing with some of those books or something. I think that's
brilliant. I would be down for that. So my first cozy series that was truly cozy, once I kind of got the hang of it, was called the Kitty Couture Mysteries, and they're set in New Orleans. And I loved everything about the series. And I guess the sales weren't there at the time, and so it was canceled. I was cut off after book 4 when I had all these ideas and things I wanted these characters to do. So now I just bring them up in my I don't know if that's really a thing we're supposed to be doing across publishers, but I miss them. And so I had them visit, Lacey and Jack visited the Cider Shop series in book 3. And I've had characters in my new Bonnie and Clyde series ordering things from their shop in New Orleans, and I just can't let them go. Yeah, they're important to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Just because, so that if somebody's not read all the series, do you want to give a short synopsis of each series or tell the premise or something like that?
Sure, I can do that. Yeah. So the Kitty Couture series that I mentioned, that was my first one. That is set in the Garden District of New Orleans. So the heroine's from a pretty wealthy family, though she's trying to get by on her own, but the world, so it's got a real Gilmore Girls vibe to me. The mom is trying to just come back, be part of it. And she's like, I can do this by myself. So she owns Furry Godmother, and Furry Godmother is a little boutique. She was in design school and kind of didn't get anywhere with that career. So she came home and now she designs costumes and clothing for pets. So that's what she does. And it's just so perfect for New Orleans, which is really extra in every way. So that's that series. This Cider Shop series is set on apple orchard in rural West Virginia, northern West Virginia. And my heroine, Winona May Montgomery, works in an old mail pouch barn, and she has a cider shop, and she lives with her Granny Smith. So that is that one. The Seaside Cafe Mysteries take place in the Outer Banks. It's a fictional town, but the Outer Banks is someplace that my family goes every year, and I just adore, and I'm always inspired when I'm there. So that's how that story began. I write this as Brie Baker. I don't know if I just said that, but the heroine, Everly Swan, she runs an iced tea shop from the first floor of her Victorian home on the beach. And that one has, it's not really a magical element, but it's a series where the family thinks that the women are cursed. You know, they're cursed in love. They can't leave the island. So I try to weave it through all of the books that Everly's been raised and told that these things are true, although she's way too logical to believe them. But sometimes I write it in a way that hopefully makes the reader go, well, you know, maybe. That one's been a ton of fun, and and it has been really popular. And book 7 is the last one, and it comes out in March. So yeah, so I was at the Outer Banks last year when I was writing the outline, and I was just crying. I probably looked like a nut. Like, we're on a vacation at the beach. My whole family's there, the grandparents. And I'm like, it's hard to let them go, you know? And they're real to some degree, because I actually thought as we were driving in, like, oh, I should stop by this made up place that doesn't exist. Oh, wait, that's not real. So that's my Seaside. And then Bonnie and Clyde Mysteries, they are in Southern Georgia. She is newly divorced. She's the oldest heroine I've written. She's looking at 40 pretty soon. She had a messy divorce, and she went home to the small town that she was from, and she opened a second chance shop. She grew up without a lot of money, and she was used to finding thrift things and bringing them up to speed, making them pretty again, giving things second life, which is kind of what she's doing in her life, starting again. So she's doing that with her little rescue cat and best friend, Clyde. I think that's everything. And the Christmas town. It's just as much Christmas as I can push into 300 pages.
Which I love. That's more than fine by me. You know, and the other thing that sometimes, and this might just be one of my quirks, as you know, because that's just how I am. But the other thing that I'll do is, if I really love a series and I know it's ending, I won't read the last book, because in my mind it hasn't ended.
It's not over yet. Yep, I can see
So
that.
there's another way like that, like maybe that not as much time passes as some people think, because if you like people, you know, or I'll even start spreading out the books. If I know there's only 2 left, I'm like, okay. And I'll
take my time. I tried it. So here's a shout out to that publisher for the Seaside, the one that's ending. They told me, so with some series, they just go, no, we don't want any more. They wait for you to pitch and they go, eh. But this publisher told me in advance. So before I ever started writing the last book, hey, it's been really popular, but we want to go out on top. We want to wind it up while people are still excited about it. We don't want to drag it, you know, so they told me in advance, and they said, you can do whatever you need to make sure, you know, to give your readers the feeling that they've gotten all along, so they don't feel disappointed. So they gave me like carte blanche. So one thing cozies never have is a prologue, right? Nobody uses prologues, definitely not in cozies. I got to write a prologue so that book 7 picks up in the moment where book 6 ended. So I left it on a cliffhanger, which I rarely do, but I wanted to, because I knew that very last book was coming and I wanted it to be special. So I cut them off, picked it up in a prologue. Then we go on and start, you know, a few months later. And when it was all over, in my mind, I was thinking, I want this last book to be so incredibly satisfying to fans of the series that when they're done, they'll want to reread all of them, knowing like where it's going. So I was able to do 3 epilogues too, which was exciting. So I did an epilogue a short time later from my heroine's perspective, a second epilogue from the hero's son's perspective, and then a third epilogue from my hero's perspective. So for the first time after all these books, readers get to see Everly from my hero's point of view. And then, of course, I end with Lou. The last sentence is a kickback to the seagull that's on all the covers. Uh-oh, it looks like we lost Tiffany. I don't know what to do now. Just, oh, she's gone. And I can't see your comments. Wait, let me see if somebody's still here. We can keep going. Maybe she can join. Storm says, I can't wait to try Bonnie and Clyde. I don't know how to make this visible, so I'm just going to read them. And then my hostess just disappeared. Maybe she'll come back or leave us a note or something, and I'll just go through these comments. I'm so glad you guys are here. Let's see. Mel says, hi, Julie, read both your books in the Christmas Tree Farm, Seaside Cafe, and Cider Shops. Love them all. The Cider Shop's my favorite. Oh, I'm so glad you're enjoying those. They are so much fun to write. And I was inspired by my dad, who was born and raised in West Virginia. And then as soon as he retired, he moved back there. So he's there now. And I spent so much time in West Virginia. This was kind of my love letter to him and to the communities and the people and region that he loves. Breezy Ann. Hello, I've been reading through all your backlists a couple of years. Bless you. Thank you so much for that. Now that I'm indie publishing, I'm taking a lot of those backlist books and giving them an update. I just relaunched the Patience Price Mysteries, which was an amateur sleuth series. Those are on KU now. It was funny reading back through them because like one character had a BlackBerry telephone, and thinking kids today that pick these, not that kids would pick it up, but if they did, they'd be like, okay, grandma, what are all these brands you're naming? So I tried to update them and erase the love triangle. That was so popular. I swear it was 10 years ago and not so much today. So Cheryl says, listening to The Knife Before Christmas on audiobook. Oh my gosh. So that audio actress is so talented. Hey,
I lost power.
I'm just like, I'll just keep going.
I'm so happy. Thank you. I was like, oh my gosh, I lost power. We've been having like such strong winds. And I was like, are you kidding?
Don't mind me.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead. There you go. I'll let you.
Yeah. So I when I left, you were talking about your last series that you write. Do you read a lot of cozies?
No. So I've never been a big reader of cozy mysteries. I read the ones that feel a little bit more like chick lit, I guess, you know, like not the traditional style. So if you've heard of Gemma Halliday, I mean, she's hugely popular, but some people just, you know, there's so many of us out there. She is one that got me really interested in having the concept of a mystery where it could be you or I. Like I mean, if we break cozies down, that's welcome ridiculous and hilarious.
I am on page 73 now, so.
But there's a voice. But it's funny to think that any one of us would just get the idea we're going to help solve a mystery. And the Gemma Hallidays were so fun. So I started with her. I read a lot of romantic comedy, honestly. Like a lot of romantic comedy. I really like to laugh. So I'm always looking for that and trying to give that too when I write.
Yeah. Do you, I always ask, do you think you would make a good sleuth? Like, are you good at like,
okay, so I'm torn on this because contrary to I've been talking a lot right now, I tend to be very introverted. So I'm definitely more of a watcher than a talker. And I think the fact that I'm like a little awkward and hypersensitive and like really aware all the time. So I think that I could solve the crime if I had the facts, but I'm also such a scaredy cat, chicken, shy person. There is no way I would just be, you know, excuse me, let's talk about something that's none of my business. I would never so yeah.
Well, no, I'm not the same way in the sense, like I wouldn't be good at noticing the details either, because I always thought I was, but then since like, basically I read some romance too, but I mainly only read cozy mysteries and I don't figure them out ever. Like, unless you put like a blinking light and like to the killer, and sometimes I still don't figure it out. I pride myself on usually being able to figure out who the victim's going to be.
Okay. Yeah. But that's good. That's a testament to the writing, you know, that you're caught up in the story so much you're not worried about, you know, you're along for the ride. See?
Yeah, I think it's more about poop. But but I am the same in the sense, like, I'm also a scaredy cat where, like, it's not that I'm introverted, it's just I'm a scaredy cat. So I'm like, yeah, why am I going to run into there when there's somebody who might have killed somebody? Like, they have people who do that for a living.
Right?
It's not
When
me.
when I write them, I always think all of these suspects are potential murderers. You want to talk to them? You intentionally want to talk to them?
Yeah,
No.
I tend to usually go the other way. Like,
Right?
yeah.
Pass.
So, oh my gosh, I want to make sure that people get to say hi. Leanna says hello. Mazda goes broom broom every time I say it. I love it. I love the name. Hello, how are you? Hello, SocialBianca. It's good to see
Bianca.
you. Oh, I love your books
Yay,
as well. That's so
thank you.
nice. Julianne's books under all her names are brilliant. Absolutely. Me too, Bianca. I'm so excited for book 4. We did a buddy read for book 3, and I wanted to start it the day it came out, but they were like, no, let's start December 1st. And I was like, oh, it was like my most anticipated read for the second half of the year. No joke, it really was. So I was like dying to get started, but I think everybody pretty much, so good. It was so worth the wait. Mel said, hi, Julie. I've read books in your Christmas Tree Farm, Seaside Cafe, Cider Shop series. Love them all, but the Cider Shop is my favorite. I just read Apple Cider Slang last month and adored it.
Yay.
That's awesome,
Mel. So happy.
Hey, Breezy Ann. She said, hello. I've been reading through all your backlist the last couple of years. Love everything you write.
Thank you.
That's nice. I'm listening to The Knife Before Christmas tonight on audio. That's awesome. Yes, I love the Christmas Tree Farm. Love the Christmas Tree Farm mysteries and love the Cider Shop. Yeah. Yeah, I just read the first one and it was so cute. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to get to the second one.
See, that's me without any guidelines, you guys. I'm off the rails on those, Bonnie and Clyde, so there's no one to keep me in check.
That's funny. I also have the Kitty Couture series on my TBR. Hope to get to that one soon. Yeah. I loved the Apple Cider Shop series. I wanted to hang out on the apple orchard. Yeah.
Oh,
I agree. Bonnie and Clyde are adorable. Yes. Oh, when I get caught up so that I've, made sure everybody gets a chance to talk, I want to ask you about your new series. I want to ask you to tell us about your brand new series coming out.
Oh, yeah.
I literally don't know how you write so much. That's another question. Your writing schedule, because we need to talk. I don't understand how it happens.
Yeah. Are you okay, Julie?
Yeah. When we talk about a sleep schedule, do you sleep? No. I enjoyed the Kitty Couture series. So excited for more Christmas Tree Farm series. Also love the Cider Shop series. Bummed about the Cider Shop. Yeah, I'm bummed about it too. Agree with me? Yes, I know, twinsy. This is my twin. Not really, but we have the same brain. I think we think very much alike. SocialBianca said, "Same. It's a series I love. I will come back." Yeah, I think so too. No matter how long it's been. I've definitely read books with way longer than 2 years. So
I love that. I love knowing that. So yeah. I'm so glad. Thank you.
I'd love for you to continue to Cider Shop. Don't care if it's 2 years, really. Yeah. I would buy a 4 Cider Shop after 2 years, 5 years, whatever.
Oh, bless. Yay.
Well, we'll wait for the Cider Shop, honestly. I agree. I'm in love with this Seaside Cafe series, but I'm here for anything you write. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Jess said, I agree. We need more Cider Shop books. I know she's really pounding her fist, but that's how I see it when I read it.
Get it.
Don't let the Cider Shop Some Mysteries go. It's fantastic. Oh. Yeah, good. I get so excited when I think a series is over. I check back and see how they and see if they've published a new one as self-published. So we are always here. Yeah, I agree. Many have Kindle Unlimited, so I'm looking forward to Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh, yay. Yeah. They are.
I love the ending of Slashing Through the Snow. Nice.
Oh, yeah. So I ended that one the way I did because I honestly thought that's probably going to be the last one, especially with the 2-year gap and everything. And, in case you guys don't know this, readers are powerful. I wrote book 2 and I never heard from the publisher again about a book 3. And I'm busy. So that was fine. I got it. But then maybe 2 years went by and I ran into the publisher at a conference in Dallas. And he took me to dinner and I was kind of thinking I must be in so much trouble. He doesn't want anyone to hear him yet. What did I do wrong? But he said, I have to tell you, after the second book came out, we started to get messages through the contact me page at Crooked Lane Books. And people were just asking, when's the next one coming? When's the next one coming? And he said, and that continued and it snowballed. Then there was a petition involved. He said, so I'm here to ask you if you'll write another one. And I'm, yeah, are you kidding me? So I feel like the readers revived this series, and I'm just so thankful for that.
That is so good to know. We knew that just because somebody had talked about, but that is exciting to know because there's a lot of series that I'm like,
You guys are powerful. Yeah, when there's a demand, I mean, it's a business. They're here to make money. So if you guys want it, they're going to try to get it for you.
Yeah. It's a great idea. Or e-postcards from the character. That's cool too. That's a great idea too.
Oh.
I can't wait to try your Bonnie and Clyde and Seaside one. Those I haven't gotten to yet. I love the Kitty Couture. It was my first cozy. Oh, that's awesome. I read the Patience Price mysteries and I really enjoyed them. I'm really excited to try the new revamped versions.
Yeah. There were so many typos in those too, and they were published by real publishers. So we're going through, my art team is a bunch of blessed goddesses. They are just letting me know every time there's a missing period, anything. So hopefully if you guys take a look at the Patience Price books, they're going to be just right this time, and no more blackberries.
I really enjoyed the Kitty Couture.
Thank you.
I'm putting off book 6 because I'm not even ready for Boom.
Oh. Yeah.
Book 7 of Seaside. See, Bianca, same thing. Putting it off. If you don't want it to end, you're just
it's a tearjerker, I'm telling you, or at least it was for me. I was ugly crying, but so happy. But yeah, it's hard to say goodbye to friends.
It really is. Alicia said, book 7 of the Seaside comes out the week of my birthday. That's awesome.
Oh, that's so cool, Alicia. Yay. I'm going to be going back to the Outer Banks, actually. I'm arranging our family vacation this year, our trip to the Outer Banks. So it'll be a little cool because that's March 29th it comes out. But we're going to go that week so that all week long I can kind of celebrate. I don't know how to say it, to celebrate the ending of the series. It's a big deal. It's the ending of an era. And I want to be down there and be able to do some little live videos and maybe do a signing or a launch at a local store and just pay homage to this series.
I think that's awesome. Lisa K said, not the Seaside Mystery. It's sad. I love to reread, so Seaside Cafe will definitely stay in my rotation. I'm so glad you were able to plan the ending.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was perfect. It makes me really happy. Usually when so there's a meme online of a guy standing and he's facing the woods and he's throwing a trash bag out. And the words are always different, but I have always seen that meme as me turning in a book, throwing this bag of trash into the air. Good luck. I hope, because it just always feels like it's never good enough. Like I'm just winging it every time, no matter how many books I write. Wow. But with that one, I'm really excited and proud of that one. So hopefully that doesn't mean this one is terrible, since you guys like the other ones that I thought weren't.
All of them have been fabulous. Really. All of them. Good question. Would you ever consider writing a male lead?
I would. It's not, I always try, when I write my cozies, I kind of do what is working, and it's always like amateur female sleuth. I do get to write from the male's point of view in my romantic suspense because every other chapter is kind of, it's her head you're in, then it's his head, so I'm comfortable writing a male's perspective and point of view. I don't know. You guys are the cozy world. Would you want to see a cozy amateur boy sleuth?
Yeah, I definitely think that there's room for all sorts of.
The
Absolutely.
more I'm thinking about it, yeah.
Oh. And it's not a definite, but I would definitely be open to. But I'm open to anything because I love that we're starting to even some of the different locations and cultures that are coming into cozies, like the Hungarian tea house and the Costa Rica and the world. I just love to see that we're Winnie Archer has like a Mexican bakery, and there's a soul food. Abby Collette's doing a new soul food. I'm just really excited to see some of those things. I love it. So I'm always open to anything like that. Cheryl said awkward. I think when I lost power, I know. Oh. Of course, please ask any questions. I have only read one other ending where it had an epilogue, which was so cool.
Yeah, the epilogues were great. They were a gift. I said, "Can I have one?" And then I said, "Could I have two?" And then it was, "Okay, three. I promise I won't ask for any more epilogues if I can do one more."
Yeah. Mel said it's sad that the seaside is ending, but the ending sounds like it's going to be amazing.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll finally know if the curse is going to kill him. Yeah, small detail.
Cheryl said, "What is your writing process?" Well, I have to ask, are you a plotter, or are you a pantser, or what I like to ask, are you a saggy pantser?
I am a plotter, hardcore plotter. I actually teach workshops on outlining because it helps me 100%. I couldn't do the amount of work I do if I didn't work from outlines. And my process is kind of, I might spend a week or 10 days writing my outline, and my outline might end up being 15 or 20 pages long. But when I'm done writing it, I can reread it. It's just, chapter 1, Roman numeral, and then bullet points or, letters. But you should be able to read these phrases and go all the way through, and the whole book comes together. So all of my red herrings are in place. When I was a new writer, I spent too much time writing and realizing something wasn't happening soon enough, the pacing was off. And then I was trying to rewrite the whole book, or I needed a clue and it wasn't in there. And so the rewriting was just a huge, horrible time suck. And once I started having deadlines and real contracts, and I couldn't waste time, so I started planning it all out. And so now I just read the bullet points when I'm all done and make sure it's all in there. Everything makes sense. Everything's happening in order. Once that's done, then I write a chapter a day. So I write the chapter, I reread it and clean it up, and then I send it to these two girls who've been with me for years and years, and then they do the same thing. They'll send me their chapter. They send it back the next day with things that they caught, and I'll make those changes and I move on. But I write a chapter a day, and I can generally finish a novel in 28 writing days. So that's how I write. Yeah. Right. A chapter a day for 28 chapters is a finished novel in 28 days, plus the week or so that I outline it. And it usually takes me 2 days to reread it when I'm done. I'll reread it from page 1 all together and just make sure before I turn it over to the editor.
It's so interesting to think about where books are in limbo, because authors will say stuff like that, which is incredible, by the way. I mean, it's insane that a book can come together. Like, it took me longer to write a paper in college than no, right. It's not true, but then, like, there's this, I know they have to be actually, published in terms of they actually have to be, made into a book, but it's like, where is that, like, are they just sitting in like a Barnes and Noble warehouse, like waiting? No, I'm kidding.
But it's so slow. You're right. So I'll turn this book in the Christmas we were just talking about. I'll write it this summer. It's due to the publisher October 1st, but they won't release it until next October. So for a year, it'll go through 3 or 4 rounds of edits, and then the art department handles the art, and that'll go through a couple rounds of art, and then more edits, copy edits, then arcs get made, then they make corrections based on arc feedback, and they try to get early reviews and buzz going. Then they finally print them, then they get shipped to warehouses, they get put in a catalog like 6 months in advance so that people can order them into their libraries and bookstores. Yeah, so like there's so many things that are just happening. And with the self-publishing, like I'm writing the first of my new series now, and I'll finish it maybe 6 weeks before you can buy it. Just long enough for my editor takes 2 weeks to edit it. I make her corrections, and it's ready to go. Or maybe I'll send it to my ARC team. It's way streamlined.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, I know, Lisa, right? I'm excited to read the revamped series.
Yay, thank you so much.
My sister and I both read all your series, so that's awesome.
Makes me so happy.
No worries. Comments. Yeah, she's a pro. I knew. I was just more like, oh, of all times, Hey, Donna. She said, hello, ladies. Hey. Good to see you, Donna. glad you were able to catch us. I guessed the killer in apple cider sling. I was so surprised.
Good job. I try to vary them. So I think of all of the people that would want to kill this person, and it's usually the same kind of suspects, but I think of them, and then when I write them in, you guys, I try to make everybody look equally guilty so that every time you meet a new suspect, you go, oh, for sure this one. I don't want anyone to look less guilty, because if I did that, you'd know for sure that's probably who it was, because you would be. So yeah.
Well, I think that's fair. I would love superlatives for all your books and characters. I'm also super excited for your new series. It sounds so fun. Yeah. So I know I said earlier, but just because there's so many comments, tell us about your new series and when the first book is available.
Okay. So the current series is called Bonnie and Clyde Mysteries, and book 4 just came out in December. And in book 4, Bonnie helps to clear the name of a friend who is Louisa. And so Louisa becomes the new main character in a spinoff series. And so my spinoff of Bonnie and Clyde Mysteries is the Thelma and Louisa Mysteries. And Louisa is a Polish hen breeder. You guys, if you're not familiar, they're the ones with the wacky feathers at the, like at the county fair. Their feathers are like everywhere. So she is a Polish hen breeder, and she's starting an egg enterprise. Like, she's got all these hens, so she's got all these eggs. She's going to have a souffle stand, like a roadside souffle stand. And she lives in like a cottage core community, which is very, it's almost like the cottage core movement kind of romanticizes rural living, but it's just so sweet because, they do things themselves. They're not, I don't know, and they work together and they trade, and so she's got little miniature donkeys, Jack and Jill, and and her pet, Thelma, is her best friend. So she will take Thelma in like a pet carrier on her bicycle and go solve murders.
Oh my gosh.
As you do.
This sounds amazing. I kind of knew the gist, but oh my gosh, I can't. And when does it come out?
That one releases April 12th. Is book 1.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to get 2 out this year. I'm hoping to get one spring and fall, book 1 and 2, and then I'll add book 5 and 6 to the Bonnie and Clyde spring and fall. And then, yeah, I want to get a Cozy Queen cookbook out there too. So I'm working on that, hopefully for Christmas.
You need another project, I'm just saying.
Just one more. Bring it on. Right?
One more. Yeah, I don't know, because she doesn't sleep. I'm convinced.
Sleeping's such a bummer. It eats up so much time. But I read a lot because I listen exclusively to audiobooks. Anytime that I have a book in my hand, I'm definitely guilty. There's memes about this, about how we don't take time to slow down and we feel guilty if we're sitting still. So I just don't. I won't sit and read a book for very long without feeling obligated to do something. So I started listening to audiobooks, and through my library app, oh my gosh, it's fantastic because I have one kid off to college this year, but the other 2 don't drive. So I'm making a 50-minute round trip commute to a STEM school for my son. My daughter's involved in everything under the sun, and I sit in the parking lot for hours outside cheer practice and ball games and dance. So anytime I'm driving, I'm listening to a story. So it's like I put all the fiction in when I'm on the run or when I've got to stop and make dinner. I'm not a cook, so making dinner is such a bummer. Like every night I'm like, someone's going to say they don't like it, and I got to clean it up when it. So I listen to the books, and the time just goes so fast, and I'm refueling that fire. So audiobooks.
Yeah, that's awesome. We love audiobooks too. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Oh, the Third Christmas Tree book. I finished it and immediately because I loved it so much. Didn't even realize the time and the time difference. Please continue Christmas Tree Farm every year. Just around Christmas would be great. I agree. Just a suggestion, but love it. You really are one of my favorite cozy authors. You are definitely a go-to. That's so much. That's where I got the idea, because I do love your male perspective from Harlequin line. Cool.
I know. Well, you've planted a seed, Bianca, because now I'm already like, as I'm even talking, in the back of my mind, I'm wondering about this man, this cozy hero man. Like, that's pretty cool.
At some point when you're writing another book, if you could also think about killing me off, that'd be great.
Oh, I would love to kill you.
Yeah.
Do you want?
Oh my gosh. I'm
Yes.
so excited. Please, please, please kill me off. That would be so amazing.
Oh, for sure. I can definitely do that. I have to write that in. I'll get rid of you this year in one of these cozies.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. You just made my day. That's so amazing. Bye, Lisa. It was good to see you.
Thank you, Lisa, for being here.
Grady in Denver epilogues. My day is made.
Yes. So I wrote.
But are you going to be killed in a book, Breezy? I don't think. No. I'm just kidding.
Get ready. But yeah, so I did the initial epilogue. Like any epilogue is always the main character, and it's down the road, and you see everything's gonna it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be how it should be, and it's just I call that my recovery chapter where everyone just gets that. But when I wrote that, I thought, well, it's the only hero I have that has a son. So he's a widow or widower. You know what I meant. So, So with the boy, I thought, I bet readers are going to want to know, how's this kid doing with how things turn out? And so I gave him a section, a couple pages, and it gave me a chance to wrap things up and show a point in the future, even further down the road. And then I thought, well, I'm on a roll now. And we spent 7 books in my heroine's head, and we know exactly how much she adores the hero, and we know everything about her. We spent so much time in her brain, but we have no idea what goes on in my hero's brain. We've never seen. So I really thought it was just really cool and kind of beautiful to show his thoughts and how he sees the world and how he sees my heroine. And so I got to end it with him. And then, of course, Lou the seagull, he had to have a final say because that series hinges on my seagull.
That's so cool. This is a great question. Are your workshops available online? The workshops that you do, you were talking about.
Oh yeah. I haven't done them in a couple of years. Ironically, because everything's been really since the pandemic has been online. But I used to do them regularly with writing groups. But now I'm thinking, one more thing, right? But I have all this material from when I used to go places and put on these different workshops, how to write a query letter and how to self-edit and how to plot a cozy and how to outline and all this. So yeah, Alicia, I'm kind of thinking if I could put them all together, I could maybe do like Sunday workshops, an hour for each topic you want to do. You want to just do one and be gone? Fine. You want to spend an afternoon with me? Maybe I could get something like that going. Man, there's nothing I love talking about more than writing and books. So
yeah, you could totally do that. Oh, remember the days when we got to go places? That was so fun.
Places were great, weren't they?
You have to laugh about it because otherwise,
Right.
Oh my gosh. Lisa Case cracked me up. She said, P.S. Julianne, I have a Chris dollar bill if you secretly write the Seaside and Cider shop and send them to me. Wink, wink. $1. Ooh, which Golden Girl do you identify with the most and why? Are you a Golden Girls fan?
I am.
Oh my gosh,
am.
favorite series of all time. Favorite.
I am probably I'm torn. I don't know. I kind of want to say I'm Betty because I feel like Clueless all the time, and her character was sort of just so sweet and genuine and missed a lot of this. Yeah, unintentionally funny. Yeah, sincere. Yeah, probably her character.
Oh, that's awesome. Brandon Sanderson is the writing machine of fantasy. You are the writing machine of cozy.
I'll take it. I love it. I'm gonna put on a t-shirt.
Other people are interested in your
the workshops.
Yeah,
that could be a lot of fun. Plus, as a bonus, like I said, I am kind of shy, and it'd be really neat to just meet some more writers.
Yeah,
and to have a hand in knowing, like, giving someone the big thumbs up, wave the foam finger to get more authors writing. We need more cozies in this world. I'd love to help.
Definitely need more cozies in this world. I agree. You had me at eggs. I love you, eggs. I like eggs too. I agree, Bianca. I'm an egg fan. It sounds hilarious. I love the cover of Thelma and Louisa Mysteries. I pre-ordered the ebook and can't wait. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thelma and Louisa series sounds great. Can't wait to get into it in April. Yeah, I agree. I'm very excited about it. A Cozy Queen cookbook. You could hold a contest for people making the recipes and taking pictures, and you could feature those pictures.
Oh, I love that, Bianca.
great idea, Bianca.
Do you know, I recently reached out to, not all of my cozy series have recipes in the back, but quite a few do. And I recently reached out to all of my publishers and just told them that I want to make 2022 the year that I start making inroads between the names. So many people read just one of my series and they don't know I'm these different names.
Yeah.
And I asked for permission to take all those published recipes and put them in one Cozy Queen cookbook. But it would be free because these have already been published. So I wouldn't be selling it, but I've been slowly like copying and pasting them out of dozens of novels and putting them in one place. And I'm trying to figure out how to make them look cute, like recipe cards instead of just a Word doc. But I'm hoping by the end of the year to get that available so anyone can just pop over to my website and download it. And then they'll be broken up by series. So as you look through the cookbook, you'll get to know, oh, she writes this series too. So it will help me, and it'll get, even if you owned all of my mysteries, you wouldn't have to go hunting through every book for that one tea recipe. You could just get that and it's right there.
That was a question I did want to ask you. Is there any significance to any of your pen names?
No. So this is an incredibly boring answer, but it might be interesting, like from a business perspective. I was told to choose a name that was easy to remember, right, for obvious, and hard to misspell again, so that when you're typing it into Google, and something toward the beginning of the alphabet, because people buying books for bookstores and libraries are so like understaffed and overworked that they might never get to my last name if it was Ziegler. And so everyone that picks it up to order and spend that tiny budget might have to put it down before they ever get to the end. So I was given those instructions. And then from there, I went to someplace like GoDaddy and looked to see if the domain name was available so that people could find a website. And that was it. Those were my criteria.
That's awesome. That would be so fun. Yes.
Yay.
I think a cozy cookbook sounds amazing. I'd love to kill you. I know. Sex. I would love to kill you. It's the highest. I'm so excited. You're right, Breezy. She said Tiffany's dreams come true. Death of a cozy. It's true. Oh, that would really make me that and the carnival hint. Yeah. I am dying for either amusement park themed or traveling carnival themed cozy series.
Oh,
there's a lot
so
of different
clever.
ways you can kill people at an amusement park, I feel like.
That's right. You'd have always new people coming through. Brilliant. That way your poor small town doesn't losing numbers as so many do. I love that.
And there'd be a ton of ways to kill somebody. I'm waiting for it. Just yeah. Our questions are just adding to Julie's to-do list. True.
I can take it.
I'm trying to write my own cozy. That's awesome, Alicia.
Oh, I love that.
That's great. If you want to tell us your premise, or if it's a secret, that's okay. Or a self-publishing workshop in general. Yeah.
Yeah, the learning curve is steep. I was really spoiled with all the publishers, so.
I still have to get to the Bonnie and Clyde books, and soon Thelma and Louise too. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I totally forgot. Oh no, it's okay. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi.
Good to see you. Stephanie said the theme park cozy could have a male protagonist.
Oh, it would. That would be great for a male protagonist. Oh, yeah. I like it. Yeah.
So, let's knock on wood. If someone were to off you, I know, that went real deep, real fast, like off the deep end. Sorry about that. Who fictional sleuth would you want to investigate your crime from? A book, a TV show, a movie? Detective?
This isn't very cozy, but I would say I really like Castle. Okay, so if it was going to be a cute show, then I would pick Castle because he and Beckett just are like my end game. They're so fantastic. And who wouldn't want a writer to solve a writer's murder, right?
Yeah, I think that's awesome. That's awesome. I always think I'd want Columbo. There's something about Columbo to me.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's he's always like, what I think it is the murderer always thinks they've gotten away with it. So they're so smug and they're always like, he sets a ditz and he's so, bumbling and everything. And then he always gets them in the end. Makes me
like
happy.
it. Yes.
Yes. Oh, people are in a lot of agreement about Castle. Bianca says, hi, I love Elizabeth. Hi. Yeah. Oh, she's great. And she has a wonderful YouTube channel. I love Castle. I love Castle. Yes, Castle and Beckett would solve it fast. Yeah, people are in agreement. Hi, Rose. It's good to see you. The other question that I always ask people, because I feel like if you don't have your answers, you need to like be thinking about it, like in your, time down, your downtime.
My downtime.
In your downtime.
Okay.
If Hallmark calls you and says, hey, we want to turn your, I don't know, apple cider shop or your Christmas tree farm into a movie series, who would you want to play your leading characters?
So I'm okay. Well, I can answer for sure for Bonnie and Clyde because I spent some time trying to get my head around this one more than the other series. And for the Bonnie and Clyde books, I definitely, what'd you call it? I used Timothy Oliphant. Do you know him from Justified and from that zombie show with Drew Barrymore?
Yeah. I know what that was. Yeah.
He is my Mason for my Bonnie and Clyde mysteries. And I kind of see an Amy Adams as Bonnie. And I have Pinterest boards where, as I was plotting the different series in book one, I would go and look for images of people I thought kind of look like the heroes. And so but I don't remember necessarily who all of them are now, because over time I've gotten to know them as characters and maybe detached from the celebrities that I originally started with.
Yeah. Well, it's something to think about because, you don't want to leave them hanging if they, if they call you.
Oh my gosh, that's like every writer's dream. I think I would just stroke out and that would be the end of me. It would be a great story they could tell after my death. We called her about this movie and that was it.
I sometimes have a hard time when I think about people because I don't always know like the exact ages of the protagonists, but I always have some, pictures in my head. But I love the Mason. That's a good one. Rose said, sorry, I'm late. No problem. Love the Hallmark question. Yeah. Just saying people need to be prepared, Bianca. Just trying to help people out here. The only thing I really have worked on fully for my cozy mystery is I know the main sleuth heroine will be someone with a disability because I have a disability myself and we need more rep. Absolutely. I think that's awesome. That's really cool. That's great. I picture Amy Adams when I read. Oh, wow.
I did a good job then. That's awesome.
Yeah. I love that casting for Bonnie and Mason. Yeah, that's amazing. What do you want, boo-boo? My dog is like, I took him out right before we started, so I know he doesn't need to go to the restroom. But I have to say non-certain words because otherwise he's learned how to.
Say, that's a very formal restroom for your puppy that I see now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's very formal. That's funny. So, saying Alicia, I have a disability and love seeing the rip. Yeah, I think that's great. I think this is really cool. That's a really great idea. So before we wrap up, can you tell us anything else that you have new coming up, and then the dates again of your books as they're coming out?
Absolutely. Okay, so the newest thing that I've done is re-release my very first mystery series, the Patience Price Mysteries, are available on KU. My new book, I have a big whiteboard over here. This is what I'm looking at. All my marching orders.
Oh, yeah, you need to. Absolutely. I get it.
Book one in my new series, the Thelma and Louisa Mysteries, is called No Farm, No Foul, and it comes out April 12th. And then book 5 in the Bonnie and Clydes will come out May 10th. It's called Flared Stiff. And if things go the way I have planned, we'll have book 2 in that series, Out of Cluck, and then Rough Hem Justice for Bonnie and Clyde this fall. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll have a free downloadable cozy mystery cookbook that has all of the already published recipes, and also something you can buy in paperback with all new recipes. And I'll get some Christmas recipes in there because I don't know how it happened, but I never put recipes in the Christmas books. That was a total oversight. So we'll fix that. And the last of the Seaside's coming out in March. We talked about that, March 29th, Pleading the Fish. And I think that is it. If you're a romantic suspense reader, I have 2 more romantic suspense books coming out March and April. I can't think of what they're called. I'm having a blank moment, but there's 2 more, one in March, one in April at the end of the month. And I think that's it. I think that's all that's on the books right now.
That's all. It's like more than I do. No, yeah. Well, that's incredible. That is amazing. I would love for you to come back, and if you kill me off, you can come back and we can have a party for your book as it's coming
I
out
love this.
that you kill me off on. That would be amazing.
I love this. I'm already thinking of murder props. So how will she die?
Excellent. I'm loving it. Well, thank you so much for coming. It was so much fun. I really do mean that. You should come back and we'll have a publishing party for,
I would love to. Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And take some time, take some downtime at some point. Because your schedule has to be grueling. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us.
Yeah.
Everybody was so excited when they heard you were coming. If you are new here, subscribe to my channel. I do author interviews, and I always talk about cozy mysteries, new releases. So when new things are coming out, I do spotlights on different themes, and I will also put up all of Julianne's information so you can find her and make sure that you are pre-ordering all her books so we can keep her going.
You make my dreams come true. Thank you.
And now mine, because I'm being
so
excited.
Murder. I'm thrilled. Get this done.
I love it. I love it. Everybody's saying thanks. Thanks again. It was really, really great. I really appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you for having me, and thank you guys for coming out to talk to me. I always have that fear that no one will come and the hostess will be like, "Man, lose my number, Julie."
Oh my goodness. No. Absolutely. And most people watch it later because Sunday's just sometimes a hard day, especially when it gets nicer. So no, absolutely. You were very well received when I told them that you were coming for an interview. Everybody was so excited. So, all right. Well, that is the end. Please keep in touch, and I will look forward to having you back after,
Perfect.
move off. All right. Have a great day. Thanks for coming. Bye, everyone. Bye. Thank you.